close that window. Now this is the Honda Civic Type R FL5, not the FK8, FL5. I'm not sure what the F stands for, but what the L stands for is lovely. And I'll leave you guys to figure out what the F probably stands for in your head. But on roads like this, it's an absolute weapon. Now, in all honesty, I've had the car for around 4 or 5 days now, and I'm gonna proper open it up. I have opened it up, but we're on better roads now to fully experience it. And day to day, it does the job, and that is down to Honda giving you an individual mode. So individual mode, you can customize whatever you want. You've got a drive mode here, you've got comfort, which is for your day-to-day, nice and soft on the adaptive suspension. You've then got sport, which firms things up just a tad, and then you've got a dedicated R mode of this big R button right here. But you've also got an individual mode, and I cry, it was beeping, so I'm pressing it in individual. I'm crying out for this all the time on so many hatch. It's safe. It beeps so many times when they sense cars coming. It's good, it's safe, you can turn it off, but I'm just gonna leave it on. It's so important to have this mode on a day-to-day car that can also be your fun weekend car. And the reason why I say that is because there are so many times where you get a car, it's great, but it can't do both, and this does both really well. Don't get me wrong, comfort is a tad harsh for some people, but if you are getting something that can be your weekend toy and still be your daily driver, this is it, because the comfort. So let me just whack it in comfort. Like, watch my head right now. Look at my head. It's not bouncing around too much. I can still talk without my teeth smashing into my freaking... Everything's fine. Everything's lovely. Now, while we're still talking about how great it is as a daily, it is a tad bit juicy. Don't get me wrong, you can still see 30 mpg. However, 6th gear, you're looking at around 70 miles an hour, 2.5k RPM, and that's never going to be an efficient RPM. However, you don't really get this as your long road trip car. You are getting this for its other features, which is on a nice Sunday morning, taking it out for a nice B-road blast once the road opens up, and boy, it definitely serves that purpose. Daily side of things as well, don't forget, this is a 4-seater in the back. You've got cup holders right where the normal middle seat is, so in case you're thinking of taking the lads out for a road trip, you better have 3 mates, because if you've got 4, yeah, he better get his Oyster card ready. Now, I've got to say, it's very easy for someone to get a press car and just say how great it is, but I've got to be honest with you. When I drove the Honda Civic, stay with me. When I got the Honda Civic Hybrid, that thing, efficiency, next level, amazing. I'll leave a link, because obviously it's the same company, so I can leave a link. And it was a great car, and even the handling for a hybrid, for a daily little hybrid, was decent. And I even said at the time, if that's how good that is, I cannot wait to see how the FL5 chassis comes out. And lads, let me tell you something, front wheel drive, 320-ish brake horsepower, not an element of understeer. Yeah. And the gearbox is a thing of beauty. Even on the dash, everything in here makes you feel like you're driving a serious bit of kit. Now, the question that I'm always asking is, can you find a car that isn't too powerful to daily? By that I mean any rain, any shine, anyone can jump in it and drive it. Yes, whack this thing in comfort mode, and you wouldn't notice that you're driving anything special. Now, as soon as you go into individual mode, where I've set up to have comfort dampers, because on roads like this, you just want to be able to put the power down, go over jumps, and not have any issues at all. And if we are in sport, they're a tad bit harsh, but you have to remember, in the front wheel drive market, this thing is the fastest thing going. 0 to 60, front wheel drive, manual. Last one did it in 5.78. Come on. Come on. Oh, hoo, hoo. And as you can see, 2.76, 0 to 30, and 0 to 60 of 5.39. Woo! We did it. Something I really want to touch on is quality. And when you normally go for something that's not German, there's always comments saying, oh yeah, rattle here, rattle there. The experience and the feeling that I've had and have from this tells me that it's solid. You're not gonna have any problems down the line with, oh, here comes the jump, ready? Way! You're not gonna have any problems down the line saying, oh, I've got a rattle here, I've got a rattle there. The build quality, the driving experience, everything about this tells me long term there won't be any problems. It's very rare nowadays to find something that can do both, and the Type R does both very, very well. I always ask the question, because we all love a bit more power, does it need more power? And in all honesty, it doesn't. It's weird how this much power could be enough. On a track day, sure, if you've got guys running 500 brake horsepower, it might be a different ball game, but on a level playing field, the way this car is set up with the downforce, you've got the big fat wing on the back, this is definitely a force to be reckoned with. Now, I don't know too much about Honda's history, but if this is an improvement over the last gearbox, then you guys have got something to look forward to. Seriously. Because it's so quick. You've got rev matching as standard in all gears, so you're never gonna have any lurchy moments. It's just a smooth, excuse the pun, operation. I've got to be honest, this is a next level of engagement. Wow, wow, wow. It's got to go on a track. Brad, if you're watching this, mate, track day, Tim Williams, yeah, put me down. And it would be so rude of me not to actually tell you guys what I think of the exterior. And I'm being brutally honest, when the hybrid, I know we've made a few references to the hybrid, but when the hybrid version of the new Civic came out, I knew it was a head turner. It just looks a lot more aggressive, and with all due respect to Honda, less boy racer, which for some people might not be what they're looking for, but for me, I think it looks quite smart. It still looks aggressive, however it doesn't shout out, I live at Halfords every weekend. The wing is debatable, obviously adds some form of downforce, but from what I can see, the angle cannot be adjusted. But that's not too much of a problem, because if you are just a track day goer, I doubt whether angling the wing is gonna give you 3 seconds per lap. Overall, it definitely has some serious form factor. The 19-inch wheels, absolutely beautiful. And something I didn't touch on, which I feel I must, is this thing here. These things are serious stoppers, and it comes standard with 2-piece floating discs. It tells you everything you need to know. Honda want you to take this car out and absolutely spank it. I am a fan of the rear. A lot of people really don't get why you need 3 tailpipes, but it's Honda's statement when it comes to the Type R, so why not? And I believe they are, yeah, they actually are real compared to a few other manufacturers. Not always shooting anyone down. The tailpipes actually line up with the mufflers, so yeah, fair play. The other famous question is this a saloon or is it a hatchback? Let me know. I personally think that it's a saloon. I don't think it's a hatchback, even though the rear end isn't as big as some other saloons. It's kind of in the middle, and that's not where I stand on the Type R. I'm a big fan of this. Going from the old one, I knew it was a great bit of kit, but this just feels a lot more solid and it feels like it's come a long way in terms of maturity. So yeah, thumbs up from me. So guys, that has been the video on the Honda Civic Type R FL5. Let me know in the comments what you prefer, this or whether there's another car in the market, front wheel drive, hot hatch / saloon, I don't know, that tickles your fancy. But me personally, this is definitely a track car for the road. And if you guys have enjoyed the video, please smash the thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care, God bless.